Anime openings slap. Even if you're someone who decides to skip OPs from time to time when binging, every once in a while, when you watch a show and you listen to the OP for the first time, and something about it just hits really right. And then as you go on watching more and more episodes of it, suddenly you just get the urge to You get my point. But this video isn't about overanalyzing OPs to the point of just making up contrivances.
Lastly, Koga, who has the group chat with her friends that she frequently mentions open on her phone, is shown turning around, very subtly alluding to the way that she can turn back time.
So yeah, OPs are great earworms, but something that's always stuck with me more than OPs are the EDs, which is weird and fascinating to me considering I have a lot of friends who just don't listen to endings at all, where the OP usually serves the sole purpose of getting you into the mood of watching the show. The ending can serve a variety of purposes, and generally I find more fascinating and unique. So first of all, let me just talk about the generic structure of an ED is just the slow afterthought that finishes everything off. It's the typical melancholic credit roller that you'll see from a lot of different shonen shows. It works just fine, but there's nothing unique about it. It's kind of just like the white bread of EDs. It's a method that just generally works really well, but really just lacks any real substance to it. Unlike a complementary ending complements the opening to tell the whole story. While the opening might tell you that this is a series about war, the ending will tell you that this is a series about a child's struggle with meaning and freedom. Which one is true? Well, both. Together, they make up the story. One of my favorite anime of all time, Plastic Memories OP, is about accepting loss. It's this beautiful ballet of hopelessness. While the ending is about the joys of having lived at all. And it's this beautiful crescendo of melancholic beauty. And vice versa, the opening of the Aquatope on White Sand is about this beautiful, majestic new life that you're experiencing, and the ending complements that by depicting the worries of loss that is so inevitable. The identity of the show is both of these things. It's a yin and a yang, and that's what complementary EDs are. They make the show whole. And then there's the opposite of complementary EDs, which is there is a genre of anime that works in deception, and what it's initially advertising is not what it's actually selling. This is where the truthful ED comes. The truthful ED depicts what the show actually is, when the opening is supposed to be what you expect the show to be. For example, Madoka Magica seems like it's about magical girls, but it's actually about depression girls. And Wonder Egg Priority seems like it's about depression girls, but it's actually about depression girls building a friendship. Basically, the opening is lying to you. The ED is telling the truth. Speaking of telling the truth, you know, some shows take telling the truth to a whole nother level, making it pretty self-explanatory, but these endings hint at things that might happen in the future. Anime openings are notorious for giving away a lot of things that will happen in the season. These endings serve the exact same role. Now, of course, how well something is foreshadowed depends. Is it straight up just giving something away, or is it clever foreshadowing that can be picked up, and once you watch later episodes in the season and watch the ending again at the end of the episode, some part clicks together, and that creates a grave amount of satisfaction. But you know what's even more satisfying? A crescendo ending builds on top of the opening. It contains the same message and purpose that the opening stood for, and builds on top of that, creating this new climax. A common characteristic of this type of ending is that there might not be any lyrics. You're supposed to feel it. Last year, there was a lot of shows that had this, namely Vivy, which you're hearing right now, and also To Your Eternity. These EDs created a sense of catharsis that went with the same direction of the opening and took it above and beyond, cut the lyrics out and made it raw emotions. Segue. Another pretty self-explanatory one commonly found in slice of life comedy anime is the vibe ending. This is just literally the characters chillin', hanging out, dancing, vibing. JJK, K-On!, Umaru-chan, My Hero, one of the Tokyo Ghoul seasons, Arrow Manga Sen. Again, there's nothing really deep to this. It doesn't really even follow the generic structure. It's just cool and fun, and here are your characters. Now, onto the whole reason I made the video. My favorite type of endings are... While OPs generally have a more general focus on the show, EDs can really hone in and tell the story of one character. This can truly elevate a character, making them so much more empathizable and so much more understandable than how they were presented just in the show. There's a common saying in musical theater that if it's too much to say, then sing it. That is what these EDs are. These EDs are these characters singing their hearts out, letting us see truly how much emotion and passion goes into their decisions and why. Often these EDs were also made to fit a specific episode, and when that episode finishes and this ED hits, it just hits so much harder and makes the characters so much better. Whether it's Gilgamesh in Fate Grand Order Babylonia singing about his worries, about his struggles, about his heartache, and about his determination in the second ED. Or Yu-Gi-Oh! In SAO Alicization second half, singing about his regrets, about his hopes, about what he wants Kirito to know. Or Ida from the Plastic Memories ED singing about how beautiful her experiences have been for these past few weeks. It's all so brilliant and memorable. I can go on. Ruka. How that one moment with Kazuya affected her so deeply that for once in her life, she felt human and started breaking down. Or Bedivere's relief and joy at last, finally fulfilling his promise to his king. Or Aaron's years of heartache and confliction, finally leading up to a moment where he has decided the love that he's gonna share and bless this world with. It's a shame so many people skip them, and because of that, some companies don't really even try to create a good ending. But a good ending can stick with you. A good ending can elevate a story and elevate the characters within the story. And I am really, really, really thankful that all these musicians, artists, directors, writers all came together to express this moment of catharsis and write these wonderful endings.